Kimberly, I can't talk right now.
We're live.
Shit.
No, on that didn't just happen on my show. Well, everyone. How are you? This is Robinette Bryce, the host of Conversations on Purpose. I think we had a little glitch with our producer here. So let's just say we're going to forgive him tonight. But listen, everyone, we just thank you for coming to join us. We are happy. We're excited that you're joining us tonight on Facebook Live. And listen, always remember, we are on YouTube also live at the same time. And that is Conversations on Purpose Talk Show. That's what you have to dial in when you go on YouTube. We want you always to go there also, even when you look at the show later, because we want you to subscribe. Remember to subscribe to Conversations on Purpose Talk Show on YouTube. So listen, y'all, we have an awesome show tonight. We have an awesome show tonight. Awesome guest tonight. I'm excited about these two people I have on here. I love these two guys. Oh my God, real men, awesome men, loving them, honestly. Two different people, awesome personalities, amazing testimonies. They are survivors, okay? Like you are a survivor. So they came on to tell us their story. They have many. So we want to pull out them, whatever they want to tell us. But we have something special to talk to them about. We're going to bring on, first and foremost, I have a musician friend. We've been friends for so many years, since '02. He reminded me of '02. So many years. His name is Hiram Smith. And some of you know him as Tiger. Hello. How are you,
Hello.
doll?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am good. Can we see the top of your head? Can you make it where we could I can't take it. I can't. No, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. It is so good to see you. It is so good to see
It's
you.
so, it's so good to see you as well.
Yes. I was talking to a mutual friend last week and she was telling me that you got out of the hospital. And I'm like, what? You just got out of the hospital recently. And it was crazy because this friend asked me if I knew you. I'm like, but she said your first and last name. And I said, Tiger, yes, I know him. And that's
Mhm.
what she said. You just got out of the hospital. Now, you know that I know you and met you all of those years ago because through a mutual friend, my little brother, Nate Irvin, who's
Yeah,
awesome musician. Yeah. And
absolutely.
you are an awesome musician, keyboard and
Thank
organ. It's amazing. It's anointed, making people cry and shiver. And thank God for that gift that you have. You've blessed so many people down through the years. And you've always been so humble. Always been so humble. So I want to talk about that just for a moment because
you.
um, a lot of people play music, whether in or out of the church. I met you in the church world playing music. And a lot of people, they get a big head, arrogant, and it's almost like you can't touch them. Okay. So talk to me about how do you stay so humble, with your music because you're great, you're awesome in it.
Thank you. I stay humble because I had a situation that happened to me, and I tell any musician that I work with, that I mentor, I started playing when I was in high school, or just trying to learn when I was in high school. And
Mm-hmm.
what happened was I had an opportunity. We were in church Sunday morning, um, and I will never forget this. We were playing Offering. The name of the song was uh, it was it was some offering song we was doing, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I remember looking at a friend of mine in the sanctuary, and I was playing on Kisses and
Yeah.
playing like that, and the gift left just like that. And I sat there like this for a second, and there was a youth minister we had named Minister D, and he grabbed me and said, "Repent right." And I began to get on my knees and cry because I literally forgot everything. I
Wow.
didn't know. I didn't know what anything was. I didn't know what the key was. I didn't know what the chord was. I literally forgot it. And
Mhm.
after I repented and got back up, everything came back to me.
Wow.
And after the service was over, he spoke to me, and it was me and my two brothers. Well, we call ourselves brothers, but we're more like cousins. But we're very close as brothers.
Yeah.
Sean and Corey, and he said, anytime that you play that you play in this church, don't play for the audience, but you
Mm-hmm.
play for the audience of one, which is God. And he said you just got he said, you just got chastised by having your gift taken away.
Wow.
And anytime I play, I don't ever try to play with I play better than you, or I'm
Yeah.
trying to compete with you. That's never my MO, because I don't want that ever to happen to me again. Because I believe that if it happens again, that I'll never play again.
Wow.
So why play with God?
Yeah. So you take it really seriously. And I think that that's the problem. We don't really take it seriously, you know.
Mhm.
And I don't want his spirit taken away from me.
At
Ooh,
all. It's
Lord,
like
please,
death.
Holy Spirit. Yeah. And I always used to say that, like, if you have a musician, or even out in the world, like a ball player, if you have
Mhm.
them shooting hoops and something happened to his hands, he's gonna feel
That's it.
handicapped. Like, you know what I mean? So because that's what he do. And a lot of people are passionate about the things they do. Some just do it for
Absolutely.
work. But like me, I don't do that stuff for just work. You know what I mean? I'm passionate
Mhm.
about Christ. I'm passionate about even this talk show. This is ministry for me. This is bringing about awareness and then helping people. And people, I get all kind of comments about the show, but musically, the same thing with the music. All of that is ministry for me. I know it's helping somebody, helping them to have a different perspective and be in a better place. So you came on here. I heard about why you were in
Yes.
the hospital, and I was excited. I'm trying to get my other girl on here. I saw, hello, Lynette. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Karen. I just saw a few people on here saying, hey, and I'm so glad you joined us. We have a good show. Karen, I was trying to get you on here tonight, but hopefully we can get you on soon. Um, so tell us why you were in the hospital, Hiram.
Sure. I was in the hospital, fighting for my life. I had COVID pneumonia, and it hit me so hard. I remember it was literally I had a little history on it. What happened was I had got my car was hit,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my car taken to a particular auto shop.
Mm-hmm.
And when my car got fixed, I got my car, and I didn't even have my car for 2 days, and started having these symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And the symptoms was like really heavy cough, um, and the cough just wasn't a regular cough. It was a cough with a heavy, um, uh, like my chest would hurt when I would cough.
Mm-hmm.
So I called out of work on a Sunday. Um, Monday came, called out of work. And I said, something's not right. A coworker called me, said, you're having symptoms that sound something like COVID, because I was tested for COVID before and it came back negative. So I
Okay.
went to the hospital and went to urgent care at university. And when I went in there, I started wheezing. Now I don't have asthma. I
Mm-hmm.
was told I have a touch of bronchitis. And when I went in to get tested, the doctor came in and said, I would like to take you to the ER. And I said, well, why? He said, because your oxygen levels is real low. And I'm very concerned about that. And I said, okay. And I went over to university on a Tuesday. They tested me, they drew blood, they did all these different x-rays. And the doctor came in and said, we believe that you have a blood clot
Oh
on
wow.
your lungs. And I said, okay. And I said, well, what does that mean? He said, right now it just looks that way, but we need to do, we have to continue to test you. And I said, no
Mm-hmm.
problem. And they continued to test me. They released me Wednesday morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning. They
Mm-hmm.
found out that I had pneumonia on my left and my right lung, upper and lower lung. So they were saying that's the reason why you're so winded. They sent me home. They gave me this antibiotic, oxycycline, and the antibiotic. When I took it, I started having issues breathing.
Ooh.
So Wednesday, I had issue breathing. Thursday is when it got really bad. Thursday, I remember I have a dog, so normally when I come upstairs to let him out to go to the bathroom, as I came up to the top of the steps, I felt like real faint,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I was actually gonna like pass out. And
Wow.
that's not. I've never had that feeling. I just felt weird. I actually let him outside, and when I let him outside, I felt like I was losing my breath, and I was trying to breathe, and it was real hard for me to breathe.
Wow.
And I let my dog back in, and I actually came in where I'm actually right now in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to the kitchen, I actually lost control of actually not to, I don't want to feel like I'm being nasty, but I actually went to the bathroom myself because I lost all strength in my body, and I got nervous and I felt like I was going to pass out, and I sat down on my stool, and I was just praying and asking God, please don't let me die here. And I just felt like I just kept wheezing, and as I was praying, I felt the Lord. I literally heard the Lord say, "Turn the water on."
Wow.
So I turned the water on, and I had a cup in the sink, and I'm crying because I don't know what's going on, because I really felt like I was going to die in my kitchen. And I heard I heard put the water in the cup, and as I put the water in the cup, I started pouring over my head. I don't know why, but I just started pouring over my head, and I realized that my body was overheating. So as I poured the water over my head, it calmed my body down enough to call 911. And I called 911, and I work for the fire department. I work for 911, and
Okay.
a coworker recognized my voice, and she began to talk to me, and I could barely even talk because I was gasping for air. And she immediately sent the fire department. The problem is when they come, who's gonna lock the door? Because
Mm.
I was in the kitchen and I could not move. And I just asked the Lord for strength, and I was able to will myself to the living room, unlock my door and the front door. They came in immediately. They gave me the mask, and they took me immediately, put me in the ambulance, and they took me to the Union Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Union Memorial. I might have been in observation for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes at the most before they took me upstairs to my room. But while I was in observation, the um, the RN that was in there was drawing my blood and actually testing it in the room that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
And he was stating that he said something doesn't look right. And I began to tell him about the medicine that I took. So he wrote that down, and they gave me the oxygen because I couldn't. I was at that point I couldn't breathe on my own,
What?
and I started changing color, and They took me upstairs. I had all these doctors come in. They got IV. I got an IV in my left arm. They're drawing blood out of my right hand. Um, I was in the hospital for over 10 days, but my first night, they actually came in and they did all these different tests. And this specialist came in and told me that my kidneys were damaged. And he said that it was due to the antibiotic that I got from the hospital,
Oh
the
my.
previous hospital that I was at. And they were saying right now, I was telling them that when I took the antibiotic, that my urine actually got dark brown and it got thick.
Oh,
And he said, so they started giving me bags of IVs. They gave me, I think gave me like 6 cups of water every 4 hours, and I could not for 2 days. I could not urinate. I couldn't go to the bathroom. My stomach started to swell
Ooh.
because there was no way for the fluid to be released. And I was praying in the hospital,
Mm.
and
Oh God, it's real. Mm.
I was the song that I began to sing to myself to encourage myself
Mm-hmm.
was "Let Go, Let God." And as I was just praying, um, I felt like I felt an urge to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
It's
And
so.
they want you to pee, pee in the urinal, but it only came out a little bit, and it was still dark. And they continued to give me fluids, and the more that they gave me fluids, it seemed like I still could not urinate, and my breathing got even more shallow. In that moment, I got very fearful because I have a daughter, and I was thinking about my daughter being fatherless. I was thinking about my mom losing her firstborn son. I was thinking about my brothers and my sisters losing a sibling. I was thinking about my church home. I was thinking about,
Yeah.
you know, just different things. I was thinking about dying before my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's so many different things was coming at me, and who do I call to get my affairs in order?
Yeah.
Because I literally felt like in that moment that I was leaving. And then something happened while I was in there. I want to say my third day. Um, I had pastors, the church I work at. Um, Pastor Russell called me every day. My pastor, she called me every day. And I
Mom.
remember um, the church that I work at, uh, Pastor Russell, I remember when he called me, and my breathing was kind of shallow, and he just called to check up on me. And I remember on the phone with him crying, and I broke down on the phone. Pastor Russell prayed. I've heard Pastor Russell pray, but I've never heard him pray the way that he prayed.
Mm.
And I believe that the Lord honored his prayer because that night I slept like a baby. That next morning I had to go to the bathroom so bad that I actually was able to fill up the jug.
Wow.
Uh, and then my body started working. My pastor, she would call me every day, and she's praying with me. And next, they said uh, that my kidney was still damaged, but because of the water, it was pushing out what was happening with my kidney. And they were still they were doing things to pull the fluid off my lungs. I've never in my life been stuck so many different times. My right hand doubled in size because of the swelling. Um, my breathing still didn't get any better. And
So were they using? They were using real quick the What did they? How did they help you with the breathing? Were you on the ventilator or you were on? They gave you oxygen. What? How did they
well, I
help
had
you
to,
with breathing?
well, let me explain to you about the ventilator. The ventilator, for some people, it's almost like a self-induced coma, where they put in where your breathing is so bad, they kind of put you in a self-induced coma with the
Mhm.
ventilator so that way you can breathe. Thankfully, I didn't get that bad, but they had the long tube on my nose for me to breathe.
Yeah.
And when the doctor took it out, I started gasping, and they kept it in, and they were just confounded because they really didn't know how to reverse that process, and it was more sort of a waiting game for them. But while I was in there, I had lost my sense of taste. So they were concerned because they were giving me medicine, but I wasn't eating. I literally had trays of food stacked up. I had no desire to eat because I wasn't hungry, because I lost my taste. And if I did taste something, it tasted weird.
Yeah.
So I just wouldn't eat it. I was drinking water, but water didn't taste right. So I started eating the ice. And then I would ask for cups of ice, and that was the only thing that I was eating. And I think the doctor came in and was telling me to force myself to eat something, because the medicine that they were giving me was so strong that it could even damage my kidneys more. And type of situations where I had made a video on Facebook.
Okay, I don't know what happened to
Hey,
Tiger.
hey, Robinette. Sorry about that. He fell off. He may come back. You might want to. Oh, there he is, right there. So we'll bring him back.
Okay. We're gonna go to a commercial in a second.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let us take this commercial break really quick. I'm glad you got right back. We're going to take a commercial break. Everyone, please share this on your pages. We have more to come. We're not even all the way halfway through the show, but we have more. We have another survivor here that we're going to talk to, and we're going to bring him on, but we haven't gotten to the end of this yet. Share it with someone. Commercial break. Thank you.
Whip CBD lavender. This is 375 milligrams of CBD. I'll show you what's inside. It comes with a little spoon so that you do not contaminate your jar. And what we do with this is you can massage it into the skin. It's really great for any inflammation in your body. As you know, the THC is the part that works on psychosis in your brain, and the CBD is the part that blocks the pain receptor. So these are all CBD, no THC. You will definitely pass a drug test if you have to take that. My clients really love this, especially the ones that have psoriasis or eczema. They use it for pain relief in any specific area, or you can rub it all over your body. It's safe. It's a safe amount that you can use it every single day and not feel like you're addicted to the product. And my clients who really rave about it are ones that have had issues with psoriasis, eczema, carpal tunnel, sciatica, and any of those issues that deal with any inflammation in the nerves, the joints, or the muscles. With CBD.
Wow, we're back. Thank you for the ad. Whipped CBD? And so thank you for the ad. Remember, you all, if you want to add, you can call, and we'll have all the information here. So back to Tiger. Listen, hello, fam. Yes. So back to Tiger. Well, Hiram Smith. So we're bringing it in. So give us get us to the victory of your testimony.
Sure. I want to say it was when I was at the lowest of feeling that, like I was more so, I really felt broken at that moment. But in that moment, I felt like the Lord was smiling.
Yeah.
The more that I went through.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't understand when I made the video. A couple of people asked me, um, you said that the Lord smiled the more that you went through, and I said yes. I felt like the Lord was smiling at me because there were two things that the Lord left beside me to let me know that He was still there, and that was His rod and His staff. And while I was there, I felt like in that moment, like Lord, where are you? And then something changed, and I felt comforted.
Yeah.
And when I felt comforted, my faith literally increased the more.
Wow.
And I was in the hospital, and I just started just worshiping God. I was praising God because He spared my life.
Yes.
And I tell anybody, anytime that I talk to anybody, I tell them I'm here because God spared my life.
Yeah.
Some people, I told, when I made the video, I told them, I said, it's not no goodness of my own. I said, because the Bible, tells us that it rains on the just as well as the unjust.
Yes.
And the reason why I believe that the Lord smiled while I was going through is because when I felt like, Lord, it was enough, He was saying, no, it's not enough.
Yeah.
I had to go through this whole situation to be a testimony to somebody who was going through COVID, or who knows somebody who's going through COVID. The problem with this, with COVID is when people hear the word COVID, they treat you like you got the Ebola virus, or like you have a sexually transmitted disease. So they're very standoffish towards you.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that, it's not the time to pull away from people, but to draw closer to them. Sometimes people don't know what to say when someone hears that they've tested positive for COVID, whether it may be COVID pneumonia or whatever, that their diagnosis is. But I made the video to encourage somebody. COVID, it was, the devil thought that was, he put that exclamation point, like this is it for him. But God wiped the exclamation away and put a comma for me.
Yes.
And that's why I'm still here.
Yes.
And my faith has increased. The way, the reason for life has increased. My total thinking has increased. And when I came out of the hospital on that Saturday, my younger sister picked me up, and she looked at me and she was crying, and I was thankful. And even as she took me home, I just began to talk to her, because she's not saved, but I just began to talk to her because, me going through brought me out stronger.
Yeah.
So that way I can be able to minister to somebody from a broken place.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are broken, they're hurt. When I made the video, I was shocked that I made the video purposely to encourage somebody who was going through, whether it was sickness, whether it was situations at home. And the word that the Lord gave me when I came out of the hospital was, don't waste another day.
Woo!
So when I put the video out, that's what I kept saying, don't waste another day. I was shocked that after I made the video, I had people call me, I had people text me. I had people that I'm friends with on Facebook, but were just Facebook friends. They were messaging me. And a young lady that I'm friends with on Facebook, but I'm not like close friends with, actually called me through Messenger. And I actually picked up the call, and she said, how are you doing? And I said, I'm doing fine. And I said, how are you? And she said, I just want to let you know the video that you made blessed me so much, because I was thinking about committing suicide.
Oh, God.
And she said, I was so broken. And then I saw you make your video, and it made me stop. And I just want to thank you for the video. I had bishops call me, stating that they were going through. I had other people call me and text me saying that they had family members that were dealing with COVID, and they didn't know how to respond to them. And I was really just shocked at, how many people, I think I had, over 500 views within maybe about a half an hour.
Wow.
I had people commenting, and, and I made the video not for people to feel bad or feel sorry for me, because that's not me. I don't, you know, need anybody's sympathy. But I was blessed to know that I was able to send some type of encouragement to somebody else who
Yes.
was going through.
Yes.
And the young lady that was thinking about committing suicide, that blessed my heart in such a way. And then for her to call me, and we really don't know each other like you and I know each other, but
Yeah.
we're just Facebook friends. And I opened up the call and I reached out, I opened up, answered her call, and it blessed me in such a way. Um, and I'm thankful, because
Yeah.
if it had been the other way, I wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
You know,
Something.
so I'm thankful.
Wow. So listen, oh my God. If it had been the other way, you would not be here. I told you earlier that if I heard something and you were gone, I would have been devastated. We have, and you talked about this too, earlier, that on the phone, but that I was saying that I got text messages and phone calls of people in and out of town passing away with COVID-19, and it was just been devastating. I've cried
Yeah.
and I've cried, and I remember one text I got from a friend of mine's wife from Tennessee. I remember, and I was like, no, 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 I'm not gonna, no, 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 and I didn't tell people for days. Not that they personally knew him, or their family, but I was talking about the family, you know, and then musically, actually working with them, and they were waiting for something from me and saying, when you get this and when you get better, then we ready, we're gonna hit the ground running, all this stuff, and I didn't even tell people at that time, because it was just like, it seemed like it was one after another, you know. So the
Yeah.
thing is, we know God is sovereign. He can do whatever he wants when he wants. It's a
When he
blessing.
wants to.
It's a privilege, you know what I mean, to be here. And then
Absolutely.
for you to be able to tell it and want to tell it. I was glad to hear about the video. I want you to tell them where they can find the video. So yeah, tell them now where they can find the video that you did. Where to go to.
You can actually go. Well, I had to change my Facebook name, but it's at Hiram Smith on Facebook. Um, Actually, about a few people shared the video as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Spell
I
Hiram.
Sure. Hiram is Hiram. Last name Smith, Smith, on Facebook.
Okay, good. We want to Tim. So do you have? Yeah, we want to play a little. We want to play that video you sent me, so they can um. Tiger was sending a message to his dog. The person taking care of his dog was like, "The dog keep. I'm trying to take the dog out. The dog looking for you. Send him a video or something so he could be better." In other words, so play that for us when Tiger was in the hospital talking to the dog.
Hey man, I'm so glad that you were enjoying that good food that I prepared for you. Sorry I couldn't be there right now, but I'll be coming home soon. Love, thank you so very much. I love you. Your big brother's gonna make it through.
Oh, 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 God. So what you feel watching that? Like, you know what I mean? And you're here. It's something for me to see that. And then we see you here looking like that, from that, looking at what God, how real he is.
Every time I look at it, I cry.
Yeah.
My sister, her nickname is Muffy. She
Yeah.
came and was taking helping me while I was in the hospital. She would come from her job and take the dog out, and she was saying, she had called me and she said, "Bro, every time that I take him out, he goes to the top of the steps and he looks down like he's looking for you." And she said, "Can you make a video, excuse me, to so just so that he can see you." So I made the video, and then after I made the video, she recorded him, and he seemed like he was excited, because every time that she would come, he would, he loves my sister, but he was looking for me because he knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
And that's when I made the video, and I tried my best. Even in the video, you can see me trying to make sure that I had the breathing thing, because my energy level was very my oxygen level was very low.
Yeah.
And when I see how I looked then, it looked like death. And every time that I talk about it, I tell people Jesus spared my life.
Yes.
At any time he could have took me, and if he wanted to, he's God. But I think I'm thankful that he gave me an opportunity, because there's so much more work that I have to do.
And so much more.
And I thank God that, I tell anybody, I said, he spared my life, and because there are people that are going to the hospital that are not coming out.
Yeah.
There are people that are going in the hospital and they're coming out, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
They're off. Something about them you could just tell is just off. But the moment that the Lord released me to come out the hospital, my life has changed.
Yes.
I'm not the same. I'm better than what I was before. I have a whole new outlook on life. I'm grateful. And I'm just, I'm so thankful for life.
Yes.
Even when I went back to work, this is my third day going back to work, and to encourage my coworkers, and my coworkers every day while I was in there, they would just send a text, just want to let you know we're thinking about you. My supervisor, my third shift supervisor, Mr. Danny, literally called me. He called me twice. The first time when I was in the hospital, and then he called me when I got out the hospital. He was like, "Is there anything that you need?" And a lot of times with certain jobs, they don't. You're pretty much a person in position, and that's it.
Yes.
But for my supervisor to call me, to check up on me, to ask me did I need anything, that meant a lot. For my pastor to call me, do you need anything? For the church that I work at, Pastor Russell, for him to call me, do you need anything? And constantly keep checking up on me, and friends and family constantly calling. It means a lot. Sometimes we can do so much in ministry. Sometimes we feel like people are only there for what you can give them.
Yeah.
But to know that people, to feel like someone really cares about you, to feel like someone really loves you, it means a lot.
Yes. Yes. But I want to say to you that I really love you and I really care. And I'm glad that you got to hear me say that. I'm glad you came on the show to be a blessing to others. A lot of people try to hold back things that they go through. We overcome by the word of our testimony. And the thing is, we help so many people. Marvin Winans say, "For we may never know all the people we have touched. For we may never know all of the lives that we have reached." You know what I mean? You can take it off me.
Yeah.
But see how we'll never know it? Everybody can't come and tell you to touch them. All the hundreds of people that watch it can't tell you. You don't know how far to reach. We'll never know. But what our job is, and what we should do, is that when we know a blessing happened and been thrust upon us, we need to tell it, because it's going to help somebody else. What you did tonight and on your video, what you're doing is giving somebody else some hope. A lot of people don't know. They talk about underlying conditions. They talk about all kind of reasons why. We see a lot of people we know being affected, dying. I'm seeing it. And it bothers me, of course, but we personally can't stop it other than wear your mask, practice social distancing, please. And don't just pray and don't do those things. You know what I mean? Don't say he covers me. I don't, like I keep telling people, I don't have a problem with God cover me. I just don't want your droplets cover me and your whatever, because you want to do what you want to do. So, me and God, we got our thing going on, but that has nothing to do with you being irresponsible. You know what I mean? No matter what you're thinking, no matter what you're whatever, be respectful of other people's space. And I want to say that because sometimes we don't say things enough. And I try to bring out things on this show. Like I said, it's conversations on purpose, But I try to, so much is going on out here. I don't get into everything as much here because I feel like we talk about it everywhere they see it. So I try to bring in other things and whatever. But we have to deal with still these things, and we want the true stories. You know what I mean? We want the truth, because the truth will make you free.
Absolutely.
The more we speak the truth, the freer we are. So I'm going to bring you back in the last couple minutes, but I just thank you. I thank you for your gift. And that is a problem where, like me, I've been going through what I've been going through. It is something because it gave me a chance to see who's there for me and who's there for me on the mic.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That gave me a chance to really see that. Like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not Robinette unless I'm Robinette singing. I'm not Robinette. I'm Robinette doing something for you. The thing is, that ain't cool. I'm just saying, that ain't cool on any level. But that's, vice versa. You know what I mean? So it's important. Another friend of mine passed away. Friend of me and Tim's, I'm sure you knew him. But I remember going to the hospital, seeing him, and I said, I was sick as I don't know what. I said, I'm here because I don't want to just wait until you're on stage doing music again. You know what I mean? It's almost like, oh no, we'll just wait till they back doing whatever. And so when I heard you in the hospital, I was just excited that you made it through. You are awesome. Yes, that night I went in the hospital, went to see him. That was crazy. And I was so sick that they was like, oh, running to me like, you need help. I said, I just had to come here. I just needed him to know that I love him even right here. And it's important. That's very important. So Hiram Tiger Smith, thank you, darling. I love you.
I love you as well.
Life. Yes, for real. I'm glad you didn't say I love you more. I'm gonna say, no, you don't. No, you don't. But I love you. But stand by. We got a friend coming right after this commercial break, and y'all don't want to miss him. I got my friends in here tonight. All right, give us a commercial, Tim. Hello. Listen, everybody. I got on here right now Dante Goodwin. Let me tell y'all about Dante Goodwin. Dante, let me give you a little piece of this. Y'all know he's a young minister. Do y'all know he's the author of the book called Confession of a Prodigal Son? Really, Dante? Really? I didn't know this, but really? Confession of a Prodigal Son. Now, that's powerful. All right. If y'all want some Pepsi's, call Dante. 18 years working at the Pepsi company. That's what I heard. Pepsi. All right. Make you want to belch. All right, Dante, you're the bomb. You're the man. Thank you so much because you are also a survivor. You're a fun person. You and your wife, it seems, fun person. Like you in it to win it. And it seems like you really love God. So you have a testimony that you need to tell tonight that's going to help the people tonight, and how God brought you out on the other side where it could have been a whole nother way. I appreciate your hat. I was trying to look for one for me tonight. So Dante, say hello to everybody and give us your testimony tonight. We just got to get this in here.
Yeah, get it in. Sister Jolly. Well, first of all, I just thank God for being here. I thank God for my brother's testimony. God's grace and mercy is what brought him through. And I thank God for blessing him and keeping him. And God is a faithful God, sometimes to unfaithful people, but he is a faithful God. But I just thank God for just this year, 2020. This year, 2020, been a very testing year. It's been a year of trials. It's been a year of ups. It's been a year of downs. But God has been keeping me. And I just want to say thank you for having me on your show. I'm glad I was able to make it tonight.
Me too.
But I just want to say thank you. But this year, 2020, if you don't mind, it started off with God just blessing me and God just helping me. On New Year's Eve, sometimes I do work for the Pepsi company. I drive tractor trailers for the Pepsi company. But sometimes to make extra money, I do Lyft and Uber. And on New Year's Eve, I was doing Uber that night, and I was on Poplar Grove, and I was driving up the street, and my car got hit with some bullets. So
Oh,
2020 came in with God blessing me and God keeping me and God making a way for me. And
yes.
when the police came, he was like, I don't know where the bullets is at. The bullets wasn't in my car. The bullets wasn't nowhere near me. And I just
Wow.
believe that when it hit my car, the angels of the Lord just stopped it.
Yeah.
And I just want to say his grace and mercy is just
Woo.
what brought me through. So I already knew that this 2020 was going to be a year of God showing his mighty hand to me and to my family. And
Wow.
that's how my year started off. And
Wow.
tonight I know I'm talking about the COVID-19.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's something that's it touched me, it touched my family, it touched a lot of people around me. I think it was in the middle of March. My wife, Lisa, she worked at the hospital, and she started to get sick, and her job told her to go and get checked out, um, so that she to see if she was sick or not. Coming to find out a couple of days later, when she got tested, yeah, she was sick with COVID-19. So um, I don't know if she caught it at work. I don't know if I gave it to her. I just don't know. And at that time when anybody caught it, and you got to tell your job, you got to tell this, you got to tell that. So as soon as she told me, I felt my body start to changing. Like I started to get weak. I ain't have no energy. I was driving my tractor trailer, which I shouldn't. Us men, we always try to push and
yeah.
push. But I found myself getting sick, like sick I never been before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had to tell my job that, my wife caught COVID-19. And, the amazing and the funny thing about it is that when you catch it, it take you a minute to get a checkup.
Yeah.
So much can happen to you while you waiting for a doctor
Yeah.
to give you an appointment. And
Yeah.
so that's basically what happened. I think it was that Monday, I told my job told me basically leave work. And then I think I got checked up that Friday at Mercy Hospital. And the lady told me, like, do you want to stay in the hospital? And I said, no, I don't want to stay in the hospital
Right.
because
Yeah.
all the records show that people that go into the hospital, and if you just seen my brother, people that go into the hospital, a lot of times they would just give them drugs and not really treating the symptoms of what they was going through. So a lot of people was dying in the hospital, and I didn't want that. So I said, no, I go home and just
Yeah.
deal with it. But mine was a little different. Even though I started getting weak, mine's got worse week by week by week by week. Um, yes, my wife got sick and she had all the signs of COVID-19, and we both was just in the house and we both was sick. And you know, um, and God is just amazing. Sometimes God have to bring you down or get you low to show you who he really is, because sometimes when we up on a cloud or when life is doing good for us, sometimes you can't really see God, because sometimes we can be blinded by all the good things that's happening to us in our life. But as she was sick, I was sick. We both was in the house sick, and she really couldn't do nothing for me. I couldn't really do nothing for her. We was both in separate
No.
rooms, and that was like a testing thing, because when your wife is sick, you wanna try to help.
Yeah.
You wanna try to be there, but I really couldn't, because I was just, as mines was getting worse and worse as the weeks went by. So phone calls came, everybody want to call. And one thing about my wife, she's a very secretive person. Me, I say call everybody. I want everybody to pray when I'm sick. The sinner, the
Yes,
saint, I don't
yes,
care. I want everybody to pray.
yes,
Even President Trump, if he
yes,
if,
the dogs,
if he know what's going on, I want him to pray.
yes,
But my wife is a secret, quiet, stay
yeah,
to herself type of woman. So she ain't want everybody to know. And like you was scared, or a lot of people feel bad because
yeah,
they get sick. It's just like any other sickness or any other virus or any other thing that you go through. But as time went on, we lost our strength. We both didn't eat for almost like 2 weeks, and we both had fevers like galore. And it's like God bless her to where she was able to, go through her little trials and the sickness, and she was able to go back to work at the hospital in 14 days. But for me, I kept on getting sicker, and I kept on getting sicker. And some of the things that y'all heard my brother say before, when you lose all the taste for food, you don't want to eat, you lose taste for water, when your urine change. And I was home dealing with this. I wasn't in the hospital, so um, at that time they ain't really have no medicine to give you, so the only medicine that you can really take is just Robitussin and this and that. um and then when people um bring food and stuff to the house, it just sat there because you really didn't have no appetite. Only thing that you did was just lay around and just try to you know help yourself the best way you can. And it's in those moments that that a lot of times people go through things and they don't have no hope and they don't have nobody to call on. But we know that in those moments we have an anchor, we have a savior, we have
yeah,
somebody that we can call on, that we know if we call his name, he is going to help us. He is going to definitely bless us. So even as she went to work, I started getting more sicker. And what I mean by sicker, to where it got to the point where I couldn't breathe at all. It got to the point where at nighttime, it's like I was scared to go to sleep because breaking out in fevers. And I barely couldn't pick up anything. I mean,
wow,
headaches, your body aching. I wasn't eating. And for the first time in my life, I was scared.
wow,
I really was scared to actually go to sleep because um, even when I went to sleep, I caught myself stop breathing. And I don't know if you ever
ooh,
had I don't know if you ever had felt that or done with that, but it make you scared, like, hold up, what's
yeah,
going on? And
yeah,
and that's the times where you want to, Lord, forgive me for every sin that you've done and all that stuff.
right,
You want to
right,
make sure your life is straight. But I was at a moment, a point in my life that I couldn't even help myself. And I needed Jesus to help me. I needed him to help me. And even though my wife got better, even when she came home, she had to stay away from me to a certain degree because she was still going back into working in the hospital as she do. And I felt like people make you feel when you get COVID, like the leprosy, in the Bible, where it was these people that had this disease, and they was an outcast, and
yeah,
nobody didn't want to deal with them, and
yeah,
nobody didn't want to come around them.
mm-hmm,
And I remember one story where the leprosy said, told them, shall we sit here and die? You
yeah,
know, you got to get up and you got to do something to help yourself. So it's a lot of things that I had to start doing. It's a lot of, and I mean, I be here all night, um, talking, but it's a lot of things that I had to start doing to build myself up because
yeah,
this virus affect everybody different. It
yeah,
don't affect everybody the same. I already know I have respiratory problem. I already know I get bronchitis. I already know that certain times of the year I'm going to get a little cold or get a little
yeah,
flu. But it took my body and it just took it down to the weakest place that I have never been. During the daytime, I'm breaking out in sweats. At
mm,
nighttime, I was just wasn't breathing. I had to go and buy a humidifier. to try to make the moisture in where I was at in the house
Yeah.
better so I can be able to breathe. And I just know that it was just God's grace and God's mercy that helped me. And then even after, I started catching my breath, that's when, they call it COVID bronchitis, where I couldn't stop coughing. I mean, it was some days I coughed all day long.
Oh my
And I mean, my lungs felt like they was about to come out of my chest because as much I was coughing, as much I was, had this illness in my body.
Yeah.
And then 1 week went to 2 weeks. 2 weeks went to a month went to a month and a half, and I'm still dealing with this sickness. I'm still dealing with this pain, this agony that's in my body. But it's good to have praying people.
Yeah.
It's good to have a praying wife, a praying spouse, a praying pastor, anybody. The writer says, somebody pray for me. And they had me on their mind and they took the time to pray for me. And even though I was in the house, this was the time that I was able to get reconnected back with God. Sometimes it seemed like things gotta happen for us to like get back into the right alignment that we need to be. But sometimes things just gotta happen. And God's going to send certain things in your life so that you can get back with him where you need to be. And at the same time, not just the sickness, it's just the point, the hospital telling me I can go to work, and then my job telling me don't come back to work. And until I got certain tests done and all this stuff. So it was just a big chaos mess, and then, around April and May, that's when they kept on changing all the procedures that you got to be quarantined for 10 days or more before you can do this and do that. But through that whole process, I just could say it could have been the other way.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we can complain about something, I don't have a reason to complain. So many people all over the world have passed away because of this virus and because of certain illness, but God's grace and mercy, he still got me here. And like the brother said before, it's like life had been different for me. Life has been, everything have changed. My eyes are open now to what is the will of God for my life. Everybody else is coming out the closet. It's time for the church to come out the closet and let the whole world know that Jesus is here to save them. And it doesn't matter what they done. It doesn't matter what they done, but we have a savior that's here to save us. And this whole process, yes, phone calls came in, but after a while, phone calls stopped. The help stopped. And it's in those lonely moments that you really get to know that Jesus is there for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is a wake up call because I had a very good friend that passed away from COVID-19, a friend that was there to me. And sometimes it make you question God, like, Lord, why them and not me? And it's like, God, you can't understand God, and you can't understand what he's going to do in your life, and you can't understand why he do what he do. But like the last brother said, you got to take advantage of every day, every single moment. You can't waste no more time with life. You can't waste no more time in doing what God wants you to do in his kingdom, because it got to get done. And I know, ever since that day, my witness to people had picked up my everything had picked up, and I'm just grateful that God has blessed me, even going through all the pain, all the agony, all the, losing money at work. And then, my job then was messing up my check and all this stuff. God kept me and God helped me and God blessed me and God was there for me. So I'm just here to encourage anybody that it don't got to be COVID-19. It could be anything that you're dealing with. God is able to keep you. God is able to deliver you. God want to bring you through. You just gotta not give up. You just gotta not think about the situation so much and think about, like the song say, he did it, he would do it again. I don't know how, and I don't know when, but I know he would do it again. And that's what, from this whole situation, even due to all the sickness, I know that God is able. He is a keeper. And the writer said, telling on the mountaintop and telling the city streets. Sometimes my wife say I talk too much sometimes, but you know what? I'm going to brag on God no matter where I go, because you know what? He is the one that delivered me. He is the one that helped me. And I ain't making no video, but I put a post up, and so many people from California to Baltimore hit me up, and they thanked me for my testimony, because so many people were scared to come out and say they got it. So many people was so like they wanted to keep it in the closet, like they don't want to let nobody know because of how people was acting. But this COVID thing is real. I don't want nobody to think it's not real. Some people think, oh, it's not real at all, but no, it's real. And I'm not gonna go into all the news and all that stuff, but I just know that God kept me, God helped me, not just me. He blessed my wife, and he blessed so many others that had this illness. And the one thing that we can do is just sacrifice and give him more of us. Like the brother said, let go and let God. It's time for us to just, let go and let God do what he's going to do in our lives. So, and sometimes he's going to take you. He didn't promise you that every day is going to be Sunday. He didn't promise you that that you wasn't going to never face nothing. But he just said these things ain't going to prosper, and they're not going to kill you. They're not going to destroy you. But no matter what, he's going to bring you through. So I don't know what the next 3 months and a half months of this year is going to hold, but I do know that 2020 has been a year for me, and I thank God for not just blessing me, blessing everybody all over the world that's dealing with this, that have lost someone. So many people, death is just all around. People are sad. People need to get back. People need money. People are trying to pay their bills. People, I mean, it's just so much that's going on in this year. But I'm here to encourage anybody that God can help you. He will help you, and he's there to help you. And it could have been the other way, but he's seeing difference.
Wow. Thank you, Minister. That was the minister talking.
Whatever. Stop it. Stop it.
No, but thank you. I see we're out of time, but we're not out of talk. So bring on Hiram. Now, listen, we just thank you so much, Dante. We just thank you. We got to get you back when we have more time. See, I feel like that about everybody. So, Dante, we got a whole lot of things we be doing. We be doing family, and that's in the works. But listen, everybody out there, you heard what they said. God can do anything, but God can do anything but fail. He brought them out. He'll bring you out. Okay? God is omnipotent, which means he's all powerful. Omnipresence, which means he's everywhere. If you are dealing with this right now, he is right where you are. Lean on him, not them, but lean on him. He will bring you through. Trust him. He will bring you out. Don't be afraid of what you can't handle. Just where you're weak, remember, he'll be your strength because he's strong. He is able, remember, he is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. And we have the power in us because he is in us, which means we are an extension of him. I see you, Pastor Easley. Karen, thank you. I thank God for these young men here tonight. I thank God for everybody who tuned in. We thank you. There are many testimonies out there. So please come in, make comments about your testimonies. Inbox me, put it on the wall that you want to tell your testimonies. We're going to do a show called I Testify, like iPad, Spotify, I Testify. We got a lot to testify about. If you're still here, then you are a testimony. You don't need to be ordained by anyone because your testimony is your ordination, okay? So we don't need it to be anything on this platform other than you're breathing, okay? So thank y'all so much. Remember to go to YouTube and type in Conversations on Purpose Talk Show and go there and subscribe, okay? And tell somebody about the shows. Tell somebody if you have ideas, please. We do have people that are going to come on. We do have set people that's already in the works. We're working on some stuff. If you want to send $1, $2, $3, $100, Cash App, $ Elmore Records is always going across the screen. A lot of y'all know I do everything free all my life. All my friends say, what? Free. But guess what happens? Free don't last long. Okay? So that's just the way it is. Because everybody can't work free. Everybody can't. Because that means when the money comes, you got to go where that is, even when you don't want to. Because stuff still have to be paid. People still got to be paid. So listen, just do what you can do. And if you can't, God is going to do all of it anyway. All right. Thank you. And thank you, Tim. I love you guys. You are the bomb. You better stay here. Anybody got time for y'all playing? Anybody got time for that? Anybody got time for all of that? Anybody got time? Okay. All right. So look, y'all have any last words? You want to give somebody your Facebook pages, your whatever pages? Dante, you want to give anybody information on you or what? What's up? Dante?
No, I mean, my regular Facebook page is just my name, Dante Goodwin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter, but I don't really be on it like that. So
right.
If you can just hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah.
And, that's if you want to follow me.
Right. Tiger?
Me, mine's the same. Hiram Smith on Facebook. I really don't even be on the rest of them. I just, you can hit me on Facebook, hit me with a message. And if you hit me with a message, I will respond.
Yes.
So.
Hit him with 500 messages, y'all. He will respond expediently. And so, listen, y'all remember next Friday? Oh, okay. No, the producer has a very important meeting next Friday. So, we're on every Friday at 9 p.m. Tune in next Saturday at 9 p.m. We know it's a little late for Saturday, but it's okay. You're grown. Next Saturday, 9 p.m., we are doing the show instead of Friday. I will come on live just to remind everybody and just to cut up with you a little bit, maybe sing a little bit, tell some funny jokes. I got them jokes. You heard me. Knock, knock. Who's there? I'm not sure. So just remember, next Saturday, 9 p.m., Conversations on Purpose. This is your host with the Holy Ghost. So remember, I love you. Be safe. Don't trust yourself more than you trust God. All right, y'all. Bye-bye.
Real quick, Robinette.
Yes.
We appreciate you. So here's some applause. All right. And I want to apologize for what happened earlier because there were some glitches, some technical glitches going on before the show.
Amen.
Yeah. So
he's apologizing for his beautiful words he used.
Yeah.
But thank you, Tim. You're doing an awesome job. All right.
Can we play a commercial on the outro or?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll play our favorite.
Yes.
When you like.
Thank you.
All right. Advertise your brand, small business, or service with Conversations on Purpose. By advertising online, you will expand the reach of your business and brand to a wider audience. We offer various tiers for advertisers, from a single ad up to sponsorships of an entire episode with co-branded opportunities. Conversations on Purpose can also develop your ads for a small fee. Your ads will also be available to you to use on your social media accounts such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, in addition to appearing on the show. For more information, contact Conversations on Purpose. Thank you.